Alright, so this is actually an add-on to a whole video that I made about doing some work on the TL-922 and changing out blown parasitics. So I was tuning up the TL-922 on 10 meters and some underrated resistors that you'll see in the upcoming footage. We used as parasitics on this 922 just for the fun of it. I decided to once again install two 100 ohm 2 watt resistors, bringing it down to 50 ohms in parallel, trying them out, tune it up on 10 meters. If you look here very closely, it doesn't quite show up on the video, but just from a couple of tune-ups, those 2 watt resistors are starting to become discoloured. The hard and fast lesson to learn from this, you'll find all sorts of complex analysis and information if you try to understand exactly what is going on here, but the bottom line up front is the higher you go in frequency, the more power that goes through these resistors. Hence, they need to be, it's best to use when using these horseshoe parasitics, you're best off to use two 5 watt 100 ohm resistors in parallel, giving you 10 watts of dissipation. So I'm now going to change this out and I'll be right back. Alright, our new and improved parasitics are made up. A total of 4 5 watt 100 ohm resistors, bringing each parasitic down to 50 ohms and 10 watts. And here they are installed, ready for testing. Well, okay, after a tune-up on 10 meters, I was seeing a good 12 to 1300 watts into the dummy load before I backed things off and stopped. And absolutely no issues whatsoever, as expected, performing better than ever. So anyway, from here, you'll now see the rest of the video as it was when I first started this repair work. So here it is. Alright, welcome back to XXL Radio. I always try to make my videos pretty short, sharp and to the point. Just giving you the information that you need. I'm going to try to keep this one to around 5 minutes on this TL-922. Unfortunately, when this amplifier turned up, it was not ready to go. 3-500 tubes were shorted. It's got the Chinese tubes in it, an earlier version of the Chinese tubes, as a matter of fact, and unfortunately, I was the poor chap that received this amp, as they had given up the ghost, effectively. A bit of mishandling during shipping. This amplifier did have some good work done to it to get it up to where it needs to be, almost in 2024, with a soft start fitted and a series fuse in the high voltage supply. That fuse blew, thankfully, but it also took out a thermistor in the soft start, which I'll show you now. Okay, so this is one of the typical soft starts that you see advertised on eBay, in pretty garden variety generic sort. You can see here the thermistor blown in half. There's the other piece of it there. And the culprit, these 3-500s. One is a Pentalabs. This is actually the Joe Leader tube, factory tube. And this one here is the Pentalabs. Writing is worn off. previous owner gave these a real workout. It's another case of dealing with modern ham radio operators. New soft start is fitted. Here's a picture as I was installing it. Alright, this documenting that these parasitics are not fit for purpose. Trying to tune up on 10 meters. I could smell a burning smell coming from the PA section. And this is why it's so critical to get parasitics correct. These are not the right type of resistors to be using. Out with the old, in with the new. Parasitics. We have two 100 ohm 2-watt resistors on each tube. Connecting them parallel brings them back to 50 ohms. Typically how you see the horseshoe parasitics made these days, as documented everywhere. Alright, and we're tuned up. Under key down. 1300 watts. I'm not going to push any harder than that. Tuned up on 20 absolutely beautifully. 10 meters, of course, is where the weakness of those parasitics showed up and they disintegrated. So we'll do the test there next. Okay, and the final test. Tuned up on 10 meters. Audio 1, 2, 3 into a dummy load. Audio 1, 2, 3. Audio 1, 2, 3. Alright, we'll let it cool down. I've done it a few times off camera as well. We'll have a look and see how the parasitics look. Okay, cover's back off again. And our brand new horseshoe parasitics look fine. So yeah, I had mixed feelings about using only 2-watt resistors in parallel. Our 100 ohm resistors. But as you saw, I was doing more than a kilowatt there on 10 meters into the dummy load, and they held up quite nicely. I do have some 5-watt 100 ohm resistors on the way, and I'll debate with myself as to how soon I get around to putting those in there. Probably if ever I decide to sell this amplifier, just to give the extra insurance policy for the next owner, but otherwise, for the time being for me, I think this will be fine. I'll get to it at some point off camera. But yeah, anyway, for anybody out there working on their TL-922s and parasitics, just don't deviate from the general advice that you see out there on horseshoe parasitics. Definitely use those. Yeah, those Amprex 3-500 ZGs are very nice as well. 73s from VK3 USA, VK2 XXL.